Previously on Unbalanced Encounters.
You all see Genbald, this crane, black and white feathers, a pitch black beak, wearing this shawl of rope kind of filled with these uncountable number of knots.
Beside Ganbald, you see a 6-foot-tall individual. He is standing very straight, hands behind his back. He has what looks like dark brown hair that's pulled back into a ponytail. And the biggest thing you notice is he has large rabbit feet.
How does one end up here? Do we have to die? Because I'm pretty sure I had a dream about this place.
Wait, so we can't leave?
Oh no! Oh my no!
We have it on the good authority that your wife, Demoiselle, has been taking people and not bringing them here?
We have it within our capability to help the Elder Gods.
The smoke spirit looks at the elevator, looks up, looks back at you, shakes his head no.
Thank you for your time. And she's just going to slip into the elevator and start pressing the up buttons.
This thing gets a +10 to these attacks. It got a 3.
You know when you quickly press the close, lift door,
And then his head shoots up, and he turns to you. And you see him take one step and say, "Who's out there? No one is supposed to be here!" And welcome to another episode of Unbalanced Encounters, the show that dares to ask, how many times can Sam get me to say, the man with no boots? I'm your host, Patrick Perini. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Howdy.
Hi!
You know what? I normally start this bit with like a question. I ask you guys how you're doing. We talk a little bit. But honestly, the way that you all have nonstop been asking me whether or not Harisa is going to die, I think I kind of know how everybody's doing.
I'm chilling.
I have got my backup character.
Martin? Is it Martin?
Mr. Spinks, fully loaded.
Oh,
Mr. Spinks.
It's just Mr. Spinks.
This was all a ploy just to get rid of Harissa and just main Spinks.
We're gonna reroll Spinks as a dragon. What is it? A dragon blood sorcerer or whatever the fuck. It's gonna be great.
Oh, what would he be? What class? No, he'd be a bard.
You know what? We'll see how this episode goes, and then maybe not a bad idea to have Mr. Spinks as a backup character.
I would like to say, just because I feel like no one really can. Harissa's motive here, when she was like, "Oh, can you sort of tell me where the things are?" and he's like, "Nah, I'm helping you." She's like, "Okay, let's try a different tack." It's like, could you maybe point in a direction? Wink, wink, or "Oh, don't tell me where they are," wink. And then he was like, looked upstairs and was like, "Sorry, I can't help you." And I was like, oh, all right, thank you for your time. Thought he was doing it all, surreptitiously for me. And that's why I snuck into the lift, because I thought he was like...
I love that you're still trying to justify it.
Yeah, 100%. I'm there with you, Sam. It's happened.
You're there.
It's gone.
It's done.
Done. She wasn't just being like, "Yeah, fuck you, I'll go."
Mistakes were made, and mistakes have consequences, generally speaking.
A B&E on an elder god is going to have some type of consequences. Just saying. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But we are actually we're not going to start there. We are going to join Mel. Mel, we are joining you in a bit of a flashback. You have been in this utterly bizarre fucking place for a little while. It was not easy for you to find your way to the hot springs. You encountered all manner of turmoil, myconids and strange creatures that flickered in and out of existence plagued your path to this place. But you found it. And you managed to slip in surreptitiously and made a friend, Ember, who helped you pose as an employee here. You got the lay of the land and soon realized who was in charge and decided to get close to Ganbald. Because if anyone knows where Branvir is, it's most certainly going to be him. Once in the employ of the Hot Springs, it did not take long for Ganbald to take notice, and you did what you do best. You worked your way into his confidence. And today is your first day working directly for him as his personal aide and secretary. You have been instructed to rise at the earliest hour and meet him in his private study at the top floor. What does Mel's morning look like this morning?
Well, as Mel has started to show some new rabbit-like appendages and features in this strange new world, I think Mel's morning nowadays is full of a much more rigorous grooming session and stretching session than ordinarily back when he was on plain old terra firma. So he does a full stretch and mobility of his legs and his rabbit feet. He makes sure that his little bunny tail is plumed and looking fluffy. And his ears, because he does indeed have long brown rabbit ears, he makes sure that they are flattened and groomed well. The fur is tidy, and he pulls them back into a little neat and tidy ponytail. And he heads over to see Ganbald.
You meet the smoke spirit at the elevator, and it slides open the door, gives you a deep nod, leads you in, shoots up, and could I get a dex save from Mel, please?
You certainly may.
This fucking elevator.
Well, not the best. 7.
I think that you are probably a little nervous this morning. After all, this is why you came here. This is the person that you believe you need to seek out and gain the trust of in order to find who you're looking for. And so I think you're off your footing a little bit this morning. And so I think as the elevator shoots up and clanks against sort of the topmost floor, you rise up and slam down on the ground and kind of fall flat on your ass. And the smoke spirit kind of turns, regards you, and opens the door, gesturing to the grand door of Ganbald's private study.
Well, thank you kindly, my smoky ethereal friend.
He bows deeply.
Ganbald, my liege. What do we start with this morning?
As you enter this room, you immediately see Ganbald sitting, reclining slightly upon a divan. And he sort of looks up and says, "Who are you?" "Oh, yes, of course. You're the one from the life, the living. Curious. Yes, I'm glad you could make it. I'm glad you're on time. Please, do come in. And he sort of gestures for you to enter. And as you do, you make out the finer details of Ganbald's study. It's an extremely kind of cozy room compared to his office, this massive library-like structure that you're at this point relatively familiar with. You know, there's no sort of big ornamental desk imposing upon, you know, kind of anyone who walks into the room. Instead, it's just a small little writing desk off to the side by a fire. You know, there's this little divan that he is kind of rising from. You sort of look around to get your bearings. You see there's, you know, kind of a curtain off to one side. It looks like it might be a little sleeping chamber. The walls are hung with ornate tapestries that make the room, again, closer, quieter, warmer, intricately woven sort of flashes of history and moments across time, with the exception of one piece of art that sticks out to you, which is that along the back wall, there is a landscape of a place that you are at least passingly familiar with from your military training. It's the Western Wealds. And it is a beautiful landscape of the greens and blues and teals of the treetops painted on what looks like kind of a reed surface. And that is kind of the sense of the room that you get as Ganbald closes a diary and makes his way over to you and says, "What should we get started with? Yes, indeed. I believe that if you are to serve as my secretary... Oh, it has been... Gracious, it must have been 15,000 years since I last had a personal aide. What do we do next? A tour! Yes! I will show you the areas that you are not already familiar with. All of these, you know, everything on the top floor is obviously restricted, you understand.
Yes, of course. Beyond my purview.
Of course. Well, not actually. This room, yes, absolutely. You're never allowed in this room without me present. You understand that would be an inexcusable offense.
Absolutely.
Yes, it goes without saying that no one is allowed in this room. However, there are some other rooms on the top floor that I would want you to be familiar with in case I have the things that you ought to do in my stead. And we will take a tour, and you may ask me any questions that you have, and then we will begin. We have a full day today. We have several parties to welcome. I heard that there was a rather large battle in what was the place you said you came from? Agravar. Yes, many dead. There should be plenty to welcome. Assuming that, you know, the guides found them okay. Yes, I think let's begin, shall we?
Yes, of course. Now, may I start with a question right here?
Unorthodox. Go on.
Well, in order to secure the privacy of this office here, I would love to know what securities are in place that I could make sure they are always functional.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that. You will understand that in situations when I am not present in this room, there are only two keys. I have one of them, and the other one is in a safe place with someone that I trust. If anyone tries to get in without having the key, if the door is locked, they will be met with instant demise. It's a fanciful bit of warding magic. They simply stop existing. It's very, very interesting.
Oh, ingenious, sir, ingenious.
Yes, of course. However, I think when the door is unlocked, there's no need for any sort of spells. We can handle things, and the smoke spirit constantly guards the elevator. We'll be fine. You don't need to worry about that at all.
Fantastic.
And as he sort of shifts, you see a key around his neck, kind of nestled in his shawl of ropes. He gestures to the door and begins to show you around. And this floor is smaller than many of the ones below it, especially, kind of the ones at the base. The floors at the base are bigger than almost any building you have any recollection of seeing or being in. Even by Agravarian standards, they are massive. As you get up, they kind of become, more sized to, something that you would be a little bit more familiar with. Still very, very large. The floor with Ganbald's office is, kind of even still the size of 2 or 3, kind of buildings from Agravar that you would be familiar with. But up here, it's, much, much smaller. This room is not terribly big, and it doesn't look like there's a tremendous amount of other rooms kind of on this floor. And he walks you out into the hall. And he sort of begins to show you around, and he points to a door, and he says, "Over there is the smoke spirit's quarters. You shouldn't have any need of that space, but if you can find the smoke spirit, chances are that they are probably in there. Over there is the fireworks roost. This is a delightful piece of architecture. If ever we need to put on a fireworks display, you will find our full contingent behind that door." And it leads to sort of a almost a belfry-like structure from whence you can fire off the fireworks. We normally have some of the staff do that. I don't think you'll likely be responsible for any of our fireworks displays, but it's good to know where it is, and your key will work there as well.
Good to know where not to bring a candle, I might ask.
Oh, my, no. Yes, certainly. That would be disastrous. You could blow out the entire top floor, probably. I don't know. We've never tested it. Oh, this is a delightful little room. And he leads you off to sort of the far end of the hall and opens a door. And you can see that this room is a greenhouse. And it is, kind of a big glass structure, kind of looking out into what is, kind of, I want to say the pre-dawn sky, but there's no sun in the afterlife, so you're not really entirely sure what that means, right? It is darker at night versus the day. It seems like these sort of glowing mushrooms have a little bit of a circadian rhythm all their own. But, it's kind of the glass is almost this like reflective obsidian against the pre-quote dawn sky. But the room is gently lit on the interior, and you can see just like all manner of bizarre things that might be plants kind of growing in this space, things that we would consider to be very tropical, very, plants that flourish in kind of a humid setting. And indeed, it is oppressive in this room. It is hot. It is wet. And Ganbald says, This is a bit of an experimental area of mine. I find that there are a certain kind of plant that absolutely thrive in humidity of all things. It's very, very curious. It's extremely interesting. Some of them even consume the flesh of the living. Could you believe it?
Well, I dare say that is mighty terrifying.
It is indeed. Now, fortunately, they don't move yet. And he gives you a bit of a wink. But they all, I've established this room as kind of an afterthought. You see, when this building was established, we have, kind of this duct, this shaft for all of the steam to transport throughout the various floors of the building. Very essential for things like the baths and whatnot, you understand. And it was just going out into the air. So I built I had commissioned this glass structure to entrap the steam, warm the rest of this floor, very clever, you see, and grow these extraordinary plants. This is an interesting room. But yeah, right over there, that shaft runs all the way up and down, straight through from the boiler area in the, kind of under the building, all the way through the baths and so forth. So if you ever see that there is an issue with any of the steam distribution in the building, this is the shaft that you are going to send the help to. The staff who are responsible will understand, sort of where to go, but if you ever need to put eyes on that work, this will be where that happens, you understand?
Well, my, this is an ingenious work of invention, I must say. Now, a question about possibly fixing it in the unlikely event. Does it go all the way down to the boiler room, per se, or are there stops along the way?
Oh, there are stops along the way. There are stops at every floor that requires steam. Anywhere that needs, kind of substantial heating or the bath water, this is where all of that happens, my friend.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it would be a long slide down should anyone accidentally fall in.
Oh, yes, no. I would imagine that would not end well, considering that the boiler is really more of just an open magma pit. Wonderful. Off we go. And he leads you sort of back out into the hallway, and kind of takes a sharp left and steps up a few stairs behind a door and out onto a balcony that rings the outside of the building. And from up here, you can see the entirety of the Hot Springs town. A sprawling village of shops, service providers, entertainment, people moving, milling, promenading, enjoying their time, reflecting, and preparing for their next life. And they begin to stir, and you can see smoke rising up from some of the restaurants. You could see carts and purveyors begin to move in the earliest kind of moments of dawn. And you notice that you're not actually at the top of the building. There's a spire. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, if you'd be so kind.
Well, it's not quite Melmanon's day. That's a 9.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, on a 9, you don't know how you would get up there. You have not seen anything that would lead you up into that spire. It just seems like dead space.
Sir, another question for you.
Yes, of course.
Oh, that tall spire there, it seems mighty tall indeed. What, pray tell, does it house?
Oh, that's, what would be an equivalent term from your world? Sort of an attic? Storage. Odds and bobs and whatnot.
Oh, just extra space, I see.
Yes, of course. Is that all?
Yes, well, I think if this is all of my purview of what I will be in charge of, then I of course bow to your greater discretion than mine.
Of course. No, this is simply the areas that really no one else has access to other than myself, and of course the smoke spirit. This is, if I ever need to send you on an errand to any of these places, it's exceptionally rare that I bother with any of these rooms, aside from occasionally the greenhouse, but I just wanted you to be aware of kind of what your key had access to, and, oh my. Perhaps you should adjourn to my office. Your key should be there.
Oh, right away. Let us go back down.
The two of you quickly move down to his office, opening it up for kind of the first time that day. And he walks in, he's still carrying some books and so forth. And he kind of gives a couple of claps, and the oil lamps that line the room whoosh into light. And he walks straight over to his desk, picks up a key, walks it back, and hands it to you. And says, well, I'm more than glad to answer any other additional questions that you have at this time. I believe we should have... And he looks up at the clock on the wall. Oh, a few good minutes, days until the contingent of Agravarians arrive. These guides these days, they're so unreliable.
Absolutely. Well, I've heard tell of, what's his name, Reevesy?
Oh, Reevesy! Yes, you've met Reevesy. Reevesy is, Reevesy's heart is in the right place.
Yes, so it seems. A very fine fellow when it comes to his temperament and his effort that he puts in, but perhaps a little unpolished around the edges.
Well, often the guides are. And I'll be honest with you, they're my wife's purview, and she has never been a big fan of diligent training, shall we say.
Of course. Another question for you, sir.
Yes, of course.
Now, when we do receive new visitors, is there a log of sorts that either you or myself or someone else might write down their names in to keep track of who comes through here?
Can you roll me a persuasion check?
Ooh.
Patrick's just dumping lore, threatening Emily, and checking all the marks. It's so good.
Oh, yes, no one should be in here. Very much they would die straight away if they should ever come in here.
That's a little bit better. 16.
There is indeed. As a matter of fact, the active ledger should be on my desk there. It's a bit of a sensitive matter, you see. It's very, very important that we not miss anyone or enter anyone twice. It would certainly throw off the balance of recurrence in reincarnation.
Of course.
Which would not be, simply would not do. As such, I am the only one who is permitted to make entries into the ledger, and once a ledger has been completed or frozen for various bureaucratic or logistical reasons, I just go into my private collection of ledgers, which live in my study, which of course you won't be able to access without blinking out of into oblivion. So that is the process for the ledger. However, it is occasionally a cumbersome initiative, and so I would ask you to help me organize larger parties as they come through.
Oh, it would be my absolute pleasure, sir, of course.
Wonderful. Yes. Do you have any other questions?
I'm sure things will come up as we go, but you have been a most gracious first start to my time here.
I appreciate that greatly. I believe that this will be an easy job for you. I do not suspect that it will be difficult for a man of your prowess, and quite frankly, I'm very much looking forward to getting to know how you came to be here. You are a fascinating creature. In the meantime, if you would begin to get yourself organized, I believe that we will have a contingent arriving shortly.
Of course, I will make myself available and place myself where they will first see me.
And so Ganbald goes to his desk, and I think you kind of set yourself up in that same entry space where you entertained all of our heroes. And I'm super curious, like, what is going through kind of Mel's head right now? Because this is it, right? Like, these are all of the assumptions that Mel was making about this place, like, validated and affirmed, and for what feels like the first time in weeks. I mean, you genuinely have no idea, right? But like a very long time, you feel like you've got maybe a little bit of bearing. What is that? What's kind of going on for Mel? What does that look like?
I think Mel is still pretty, well, not still. I think now, having more information, Mel is finally feeling some more direction in what he's trying to achieve and how he can try to achieve it. So he's been kind of waffling and just drifting through this place up until now, and he's finally gotten some answers that, as you said, assumptions have been made, and so he's gotten answers to those things. So he is pretty focused on the ledger, and he's also quite intrigued by the storage spire.
I think that makes a tremendous amount of sense, and I think that that's sort of what you're turning over as the smoke spirit opens the office doors, and you see dozens of new denizens of the afterlife, queued, 3 wide, who knows how many deep, start to walk into this massive library space. And right at the front is this kind of big eagle person, wings and a very pointed beak, kind of sharp talons, but upright, walking with the stride of a soldier, resplendent in ceremonial Agravarian silks. And they approach you. What do you do?
Melmanon puts his hands behind his back in sort of a administrational pose and says, "Welcome, welcome, my friends. I can assure you I know exactly the confusion you must be going through right now, but believe me, you are in for a treat. This place is here for your rest and relaxation. I will be your guide. May we please start with your names?"
They kind of look to each other, sort of the people at the front expecting to be the ones to answer, and what the eagle kind of gets shoved forward, and he says, I'm think my name's Jehoshaphat. Yeah, we're kind of new here. We were told to come up here by like everybody, but kind of up until the end, we were sort of following a big bird. Could you? What in the hell is going on? Where are we?
Where is a good question. Where is not necessarily a place that is particular, but I will say you are here, and you are very welcome.
Well, that's a relief. You look a little familiar. I don't know. I don't think I know any rabbit people. It's probably my eyes playing tricks on me. Are we supposed to, do something? I saw some good food down there. They had, some octopus on a stick. That looked pretty tasty. Do we, what do we need to do something in this office? Do we need to, check in, register, a hotel or something? What's the deal there?
Well, Jehoshaphat, you are a mighty intuitive person there. This is exactly what you do here. If you just follow me over here. This is Ganbald. He is in charge of everything here.
Come in. Welcome to the hot springs. We're so glad to have you. Please, I will give you all the information that you need in time. After all, I am the learner here. I am in charge of the hot springs, and I'm so excited to hear what brought you here and what we could do to rejuvenate you in your passing into the next life. Please, come in. You said your name was Jehoshaphat. Mel, single file, if you please.
Yes. Line up, would you? We need to enter your names in this here ledger.
And the ceremony begins. And Mel, you snap out of it as you hear, "You're not supposed to be here!" Echo down through the building. You snap back to attention. You are standing in a bathroom. One of the rooms of the baths. You see Isaac and Spinks and Cletus the walrus hanging out in one of the tubs. There are some other people hanging out in some of the other ones, and you've just heard Ganbald scream from probably up in his study. Without getting into details, what is your immediate reaction? What do you try to do?
I think Mel is pretty torn right now because he's been getting some interesting information from Isaac, but at the same time, it's his job to keep things here safe, and also Ganbald potentially has better information that Mel needs. Isaac has turned into a bit of a passion project where
join the club.
Mel's curiosity is getting the better. Right. So I think there's a moment of hesitation where Mel looks over at Isaac, wonders if there's going to be anything else important that might be said, but then thinks, no, I need to check this out, because if Ganbald loses trust in Melmanon, then that's the game. That's it.
Okay. So you're going to rush to the top floor as fast as you can?
Yes.
Okay. You make your way to the elevator. We cut to June and Guard, who are in the process of sparring in, I believe, a fog cloud. I think Guard has cast fog cloud, and the two of you are sparring. And I think that we see June perched up on one of these rails. This space is kind of built for these intricate, kind of multi-layered combats. There's lots of I think I described it as a gorilla enclosure last time, where it's a lot of organic juts and angles and branches that you could be theoretically hanging off of, kicking off of, things like that. And I think we see June kind of land on one of these branches in the fog and just try to make out what she can. And I think that there's just a flash of Guard in that wireframe that June has been starting to get. And June, you intuit kind of where Guard is. You can't see arms legs, weapons, but there's something. His head, maybe his solar plexus, a little bead that you can lightly track with your bond intuition. And all of a sudden, you flashback. You are in the Western Wealds, and again, you are on your way home to Raleigh. You've been out for a few days, a necessary respite after having been fired from the general store for the second time. What did June do to get fired from the general store for the second time?
These are the lore drops we want. This is it.
Critical information.
I think she took it upon herself to make some pamphlets. With a bunch of forest facts and like creatures that she saw in the forest, little like doodles of geckos, and a lengthy explanation of why Raleigh is doing such a terrible thing by existing.
I'm just envisioning June out on like a street corner, even though Raleigh doesn't really have streets. You somehow manifest a street corner and you've just got like those shitty like one-page newspapers that they give out for free in like New York. And they're like...
It's a zine. It's a zine.
They're like a little unhinged, right? Like they're like, you know, the person who's making it is, we'll use the word zealous.
Yeah, she's peddling these... She's like sticking them in every single bag, like with every purchase, like every person that's coming in. She's gotten into
Incredible.
a few altercations.
Incredible. I think that you have been doing this, and Benny was getting increasingly frustrated, and you couldn't figure out why. And she kept making these vague assertions that you should know better, that you should consider the bigger ramifications of your actions, that the things that you do and the ideas that you spread, that you have to be intentional about how you do that, because it has consequences. And at some point she just gets fed up and she goes to Isaac and she says that you need to find some other way to stay out from underfoot. And so you storm off and spend a few days in the Western Wealds to get away from Isaac's probably a little passive-aggressive response to the situation. And
he didn't read the zine.
No.
How dare he?
When you get back, after what we'll call a long and at least calming weekend away, you see something outside of the gates of Raleigh that you've never seen before. It's tall and broad and carrying an axe. A ceramic statue covered in filigree with a mask? And you don't think it's seen you, but you've seen it. You're kind of in the tree line still. What do you do?
I want to get a closer look.
Without being seen?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Ugh. I feel like I haven't rolled a digital die, in a while.
In a while, yeah.
Oh no. Well, that's a 1. Plus 2 for a 3.
Can I roll a perception check?
Yeah, I think you're just gonna... I mean, unless you get a nat 1 as well.
I see y'all. I'm a 21.
Oh shit.
I'm a guard!
You see my soul.
Garden.
I'm actually going to pull Isaac into this one for a second. Isaac, would you have had the foresight to tell your new guard contingent that your, adopted daughter was out in the woods?
Yeah, okay. So I don't know how am I supposed to speak? Hello. Where do I speak into this thing? Is there like a megaphone or something? And he's just at Guard's chest, just talking into his chest. So there's a teenage hippie that likes to just run around in the woods. She's ours. So don't attack that one. Everyone else is fair game. Nah, I'm just kidding. Oh, I don't know if you know jokes. Oh goodness. Don't attack. Her name is June. She may have some zines on her. I don't know.
I'm counting the words that Guard doesn't know. Like a teenage hippie and zine mean nothing to you, Guard.
Yes. Little half elf. She's going through a lot. So if you would be so kind as to, stand guard, but have an open heart. Shit, fuck this. And he just turns around and walks away.
Guard just is totally motionless, does not respond in any outward way to any of that.
No visible response at all. And, about a day later, you're standing guard in front of Rally, and you see a half-elf woman, not particularly old, lurking poorly, just like in the tree line, sneaking, right? And like she's cracking branches and like rustling leaves, and like I think a gecko like moves out from under her hand at one point. She goes like, and like just the most conspicuous fucking thing you've ever seen. But she doesn't know that you can see her.
Guard turns to her and loudly, I take my axe out and loudly say, "If you would like to not die, step forward and name thyself."
June's gonna very slowly reach down for a rock.
I'm going to throw an axe at the tree, a hand axe. I'm going to intentionally miss her, but I'm going to just throw it at the tree.
Okay.
Like the tree that she is in.
What?
Go ahead and roll an attack.
I miss. 8.
Fuck me. So you're trying not to hit June.
I don't care if I hit her.
What?
But you miss.
Yeah. This is not Guard friends with June. This is Guard before Guard has met June.
June, I am going to give you the benefit of an acrobatics check here to get out of the way. I am Calvin balling this a little bit because I don't know how to exactly resolve a failed intentional miss.
Oh, fuck. Oh, it's a 9.
Okay. Yeah, I think this axe wings you. Guard, go ahead and roll damage. Just the base damage die, please.
Sorry, June.
I was just gonna throw a rock in the other direction.
3.
Okay. I think June has at least over 3 hit points. But June, this thing, like this axe wings you in the arm. This statue just came to life, pulled a 2-handed axe out of fuck knows where, reached down, grabbed a hand axe, chucked it at you, winged you in the arm. That's bleeding now. You got to figure that shit out. What do you do?
Whoa, man. Hold on.
Name thyself.
My name is Juniper. My name is Juniper Snowthorn. I live in Raleigh. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'll fuck my arm.
Guard will put away his axe and unlock the door and open the gate.
That tracks. That tracks so well.
I'm really scared to move right now because I don't want to die.
Harisa, you see the door open at a completely inappropriate time of day, right? This is not protocol, and I'll go ahead and say that you were near the door. You see Guard kind of push this thing open.
I was probably leaning against it, having a snooze.
And there's no way that you don't see June, like, freaking out. Yeah, the door opens up and you, like, stumble a little bit. You're like, oh, okay. There's no way you don't see June. What do you do?
So, obviously, Harisa is going to kind of look through the gate, like, what the heck? Look out and see, obviously, a bleeding civilian. Had I been told about June?
I would imagine, Isaac?
Yes.
Okay, fine. What is happening?
That-
Guard, who is this?
There's a monster. There's a monster.
Juniper Snowthorn
He is going to kill all of us.
has returned to rally.
Help.
She is injured.
There's
I see that. How did she become injured, Guard?
She did not name herself quickly.
He's trying to kill me. He's trying to kill me. It's trying to kill me. Help me. Help me. And she's going to run. She's going to scurry behind Harisa.
Okay, now, let's... Alright, luckily, we have been expecting you. We have heard from, Isaac Ekströmer to expect your arrival, any day. Please come with me and I'll take you to get you patched up.
Welcome back.
Good job, Guard.
I'm sorry.
Please come with me.
I don't... But what about this thing?
No, please, madam, please come with me.
Y'all tell me I'm crazy because I see lizards in the forest. And
If you want your arm patched up before you bleed to death, I suggest you come with me.
she's going to follow you, but she's going to...
Guard's gonna slowly push the gate back closed.
You guys are just going to let that thing... What the hell is that?
Martin, stand in my place.
Sergeant Harisa. Of course.
The gate has never been more secure.
She's gonna take her to... Oh,
You take June to Oz, and immediately Oz is like, "Oh no, okay, it happened. I was afraid of this. Oh God, June,
What do you mean
you
it
fell out of a
happened?
tree. You fell out of a tree.
Nope,
You got
I
attacked by a ferret or a weasel or something.
No, I got...
Okay,
Oz,
eaten to
Oz,
death by ants. Not that
Oz,
one.
no, Oz. There's a monster outside of the gates right now, and nobody's taking it seriously. And I am dying. I'm dying right now. I'm dying. They were gonna have.
Okay, June, sweetie,
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
No,
I
it's
was just
okay.
so
All right,
sad.
look, it's honestly, June, I'm getting a closer look at it now, honey, and it's honestly, it's pretty superficial. I'm gonna tie it off here. Harisa, what?
I'm bleeding.
Sergeant Harisa, what does she mean?
unfortunately, she did not declare herself in time, and Guard took action.
Why would I have to?
As he is wont to do. But she will be fine, I am sure, in your capable hands. Goodbye. This is just gonna...
Harisa walks away.
Okay.
Well,
Take it, Oz. Chop it off. I mean, nobody cares.
I'm not gonna do that, June, sweetie. I'm not gonna.
Nobody cares anymore. I mean, I just fucking live here. I mean, no big deal. Just existing.
Yeah. You picked a bad weekend to vanish. I know that you don't usually consult anybody when you do that, and I heard about what happened with Benny, and I get it.
I'm an adult. I can go where I want. I can go when I please. I
Well-
don't have to tell anybody. No one's my keeper.
As it happens, Isaac has put in for some Imperial help for just that reason. And she tightens the bandage.
That's smart. Cut off the circulation before you amputate.
Yeah, it's not gonna come off, sweetie. I promise you're gonna be fine. Isaac has, in his infinite wisdom, decided that the disappearances and issues that we've been facing as a community are too substantial for us to handle on our own, and so he has put in for Imperial support. The woman who brought you here was Sergeant Harisa, and the thing out front is Guard. Guard seems to be controllable
Controllable.
in an abstract sort of way, but a little precise. And June, sweetie, I know that that's not exactly how you choose to navigate the world, and I know that we all have the beat of our own drum, but
Yeah, he beat my drum all right. Took my arm.
Yeah, but he didn't take your arm, June. It's gonna be fine.
I can't feel it anymore. It's gone.
Well, that's because I tied the bandage tight to get the bleeding to stop. I'll loosen it here in a second.
I don't know who's scarier, that the guard outside that just or the General Harisa.
Sergeant.
Sorry, Sergeant, Captain, Private. I don't know.
Yeah. June, sweetie, I know that you're a little fixated on this new information, and I really appreciate that you're going to need some time to process all of this. I need you to focus up for a second, because I need you to understand that Isaac brought them here to protect you. And with that, we flash back to the fight.
Damn it, Pat!
June, you, for this attack, do not have disadvantage imposed by Fog Cloud. What do you do?
I want to get above guard and jump on his head to cover his eyes.
Incredible. I think I'm going to treat this as a grapple check, but I will give this to you dex-based. Are you proficient in athletics?
No.
Okay, so go ahead and just give me a flat dex check. And guard, this is going to be either an acrobatics or an athletics check to throw June off.
That's a 7.
What do you got, guard?
As June leaps up onto my shoulders, I'm going to grab her like a puppy by the scruff of her neck, and I'm going to say, "You're going to need to keep your distance or be quicker than that. Now rebound," and I'm going to chuck her at the wall.
Incredible. Please give me an acrobatics check. Actually, give me a dex save.
20. Dirty 20.
How do you rebound from this? What does that look like?
You threw me at a wall? Well, I've got a cool tail now. So kind of like a cat, I want to like whip the tail to kind of reestablish myself in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So that my feet are going towards the wall, and I want to bend my knees, like have my feet impact, bend the knees, and then push back off the wall.
You push back off the wall into, I think, just like the 3-point landing on the ground, and look up at guard. And both of you hear, "You're not supposed to be here!"
Oh, wow.
I'm going to slam the Lorax into the ground and dissipate the fog cloud as it all swirls back inside of me. Did you hear that?
What was that?
I don't know. That was really good, by the way, Juniper, but maybe sounded like the big guy screaming, and I don't know where Isaac or Harisa are. Should we check?
I mean, he could be screaming at anything. He could be screaming at a mouse or a spider or...
The two of you see Mel race past the entrance to this room.
But yeah, sure, we can go. I wonder where he's going.
Let's follow.
All right. The two of you are going to follow Mel. Fantastic. We are going to cut to Isaac.
So now, Spinks, I'll tell you everything about my entire backstory and history.
And Isaac, being in, sort of this hot tub is, I think, a little reminiscent for you because, again, like in your life in Agrivar, you were not wont for comfort, not always luxury, but certainly comfort. And I think that it's been some time since you've been at like a spa properly. And I think you actually sort of drift back to that moment, that last time that you were in, kind of a proper bathhouse in Agravar, just idly while you're chatting with Sphinx and Cletus. And we see Isaac in a private submerged pool, steam sort of rising off in this room that is made of ancient stone and meticulously upkept cedar. Everything is perfumed slightly of grain and thyme. And you are just unwinding as the stress of a difficult day of training melts away from your body and into the water. What's going through Isaac's head, if anything, in this kind of moment, briefest moment of isolation and reprieve?
I couldn't imagine any type of way of living besides this. I don't know how people do it out there with not much. I don't think I could ever leave the city. This is where I belong.
And I think as you have that thought, your dearest friend walks into the room clad in a towel and says, "Move over, you lazy ass."
Hey, look what the shit done brought in. That's not a phrase, but we gonna use it. All right.
No, that was nothing. All right. Listen, you've never exactly been the, kind of quickest in a turn of phrase there, buddy.
Hey, but I'm charming and handsome.
Yeah, true.
And that's all that matters.
True. You are certainly both of those things.
You making fun of me?
For once I'm not. It's weird. I'm in a good mood.
Good. Wait a minute. Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Do I know his schedule? Fuck, nat one.
I think on a nat one, like, how does a nat one get interpreted here? Because I think that your intuition that something is weird about that is reasonable, right? But I think that you are baffled and clueless, and I think that your mind just starts reeling with a bit of conspiracy.
Oh, the governor gave you a day off?
Well, let's just say that I moved some scheduling around.
Oh, lucky guy. You probably got one of the lackeys do it for you, or whatever job you got planned and whatnot.
Well, I found somebody to cover my shift, and he slips into the water. Oh. We are lucky as hell, huh?
Lucky as hell indeed. I couldn't imagine living any other way. I was just saying that to myself.
Yeah, this is, we got ourselves in a fine situation.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you what, we've got anything we could possibly want.
Oh, food?
Yeah.
People?
Yeah.
It's endless. Every time I lay down at night, I'm in a comfortable bed with the city bustling around me, loud noises.
No, you remember training. You absolutely remember training.
Oh, I
remember
hated
those
it.
fucking bunks that we had to sleep on? They were
Oh,
like
my
basically
goodness.
straw mats that were stacked on top of each other. I thought those bamboo poles were going to snap all the time.
Oh, and then the audacity of some of the trainees were just all too gung-ho. Remember Martin?
Hold on, you just injected something into the world that I need to make sure is true.
Yes.
What's Martin's last name?
Von Winkleberry the Third.
You remember that
Yeah.
dude with the funny name?
Oh yeah, what was he doing in basic training? The man is like
he was like really
20
gung
years.
ho.
The man is yeah. That was God. That was ages ago. What was he even doing? I haven't seen him since. Where did he go?
Oh, I don't know. I think he was like
You think he flugged out?
probably.
Oh God.
You know, some people
what an
got
idiot.
it, some people don't, and,
Yeah.
and me and you, Dale, we got it.
We do. We really do.
So I've heard some, you know, around the campfire. I've heard some that you've been meeting some people,
Yeah, I mean,
having some conversations,
listen.
courting, if you will.
Shut the fuck up, X-Drummer. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, come on, it's just talk.
Yeah, I mean, it's talk that could get me killed.
They'd have to go through me first, buddy. You know that.
Can I hold you to that? They might fucking have to.
Hey, the only person that gets to kill you is me. How about that?
All right, deal. At least I know I could beat you. No, listen.
Oh, we just gonna glaze past
Yeah,
that?
we're
No,
gonna go. I mean, that's just fact, right? That's easy enough.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
I kick your ass into next Tuesday.
Listen, Axe Drummer, Jesus. Can I? Fuck me, I was just about to ask if I could trust you with something. What the hell is that impulse?
Well, sure, killing you. We've established that. All right, what else now?
You know, Katerin. Yeah, you've seen her around.
Yeah, I've seen Katerin around.
I actually have a question for Isaac. How aware of court politics is Isaac? I know that Isaac is like very close to it, adjacent to it even, but does Isaac pay attention to the sort of non-military components, the people who are kind of working in and around?
He knows of people. He does not know. He doesn't sink into it enough to know their specifics of what they do. But he knows if I see this person, shit's about to hit the fan, or if I see this person, some sketchy shit's about to happen.
Okay. So you would definitely kind of know, certainly, the Lord Governor Hakoda Agra and his immediate kind of family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
When Dale says Katerin, your gut drops.
Yeah, I know. I know of Katerin. What
Yeah, you see my conundrum.
Well, I don't see anything but a idiot in front of me, really. If we're dealing with Katerin, what the hell's going on, Dale?
Listen, she is. I mean, she's gorgeous. Yeah, obviously.
He starts sinking into the basically boiling water. Like, oh no, Dale, come on, oh Dale.
Isaac, she's brilliant. God, she's got ideas beyond anything.
Ideas get you in trouble. Dale, we've been through this.
I know, Isaac, I know. But listen, you should hear her talk. God, she's so smart.
That's how they get you. With words.
I mean, if that's how they get you, yeah, and
And then the words touch your feelings. And then your feelings touch other things. And now look at you. You know, scoot away from me for a second. Get yourself together.
He splashes some water up at you.
Well,
I gotta figure it out, Isaac. I can't just let her go on doing what she's doing.
well, I mean, is she doing anything? You know what? Doesn't matter. If you like this girl, I guess I can deal with the two of you.
I mean, I appreciate that because what I was looking for was Isaac Axtrummer's approval on my burgeoning relationship with this woman.
He slaps him on the shoulder. Hey, if anything, you have my approval. I appreciate you asking me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Great. Now,
My job gets very stressful without y'all trying to fuck it up even more.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about, Isaac. We're going to need some help figuring out what to do. I mean, certainly keeping it quiet until we... I don't even know what finishes that sentence. How does...
Isaac gets real stern before he says anything else. Hey, Dale, you know what my job is, right?
Yeah, of course. That's exactly why I need your help.
Then, as one of the most important people in my life, I need you to understand we need to stop having this conversation right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. Promise me something, Isaac.
Oh, yeah, fuck we go. What you want?
If anything drastic ever needs to happen, you're with me, right?
To the ends of the earth.
Good. I'm gonna need all the help I can get. Can't believe I've fallen in love with a royal consort.
You what?
And he slips under the water. And Isaac, you snap out of it as you hear, "You're not supposed to be here!"
Like I was saying, Spinks, anytime your host is just, yelling and screaming, you just mind your own business and you just stay where you are.
I think that's a wise
so
thing
you
to
don't
do.
cause
I
any
think
more
just-
problems for him.
It's not my business.
You didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything.
Is Isaac genuinely not going to... Okay, Isaac stays put.
June and Guard charge down the hallway past the door, turn their heads in.
Isaac, get out of the water!
I don't know where Isaac got this drink. He's just like,
Mr. Spinks is just like, I don't feel so good.
oh, okay. All right, universe,
I don't know.
everybody around me. I'm just trying to enjoy my bath. Come on. And he grabs Mr. Spinks by the scruff of his neck.
Yeah.
Come on.
And
Just
you
walking out.
rush
Shaking.
to the elevator, and I think all of you arrive at the elevator, to see the smoke spirit kind of bringing it back down. Mel, you kind of immediately begin your parlay, and we cut.
Oh no, what's gonna happen? I'm so curious. Everything's building. Oh boy, I hope everything's all right. These are the thoughts that I am having, and they might be the thoughts that you are having. But now we're gonna hold those thoughts inside for a second because it's the mid-roll. Bum. Welcome to the mid-roll, where we talk about other things than the show, but that are tertiarily related to the show. For example, do you want to support what we're doing? Well, for just a few bucks a month, you can support us on Patreon. And by joining our Patreon, you get access to all sorts of cool stuff. You get to name NPCs. You get to create magic items that can show up in the game. And you get to be a part of our special little family. Isn't that just wonderful? Well, I think so. Otherwise, I wouldn't be interrupting the broadcast to tell you about it. What else do I have to tell you about? Well, we have this thing called rebalancing, where the cast gets together with the wonderful Tyler Clausen, and we talk a little bit about the behind-the-scenes stuff, the plan of the characters. We answer your questions. So if you are curious to bear witness to those, they are going public, and they're going to be on the YouTube channel, and I think we're going to air them on the podcast. I should probably know, but I don't. Either way, check out the YouTube channel, because you'll get access to them there. And maybe here, we'll see. What else should I tell you about? Well, have you checked out the Grim Domains Friday night? It's a live stream on Twitch featuring our one and only dear Craig, Isaac Axe Drummer himself. It is Friday night, 6:30 p.m. on twitch.tv/MagiRPG. Not only that, but our dear Emily Graymore is on Delightful Dungeon Diving, a podcast where they chat and have skits all about voice acting. Have you ever acted with a voice? Who's to say? maybe you are to say. Either way, it's a pretty cool podcast. You should check it out wherever podcasts are podcasting. What else should I promote? Well, I guess you should check me out on Twitch too, twitch.tv/CinderblockSally. I don't know if I've ever promoted my Twitch channel here, but I run a show about homebrew. We talk about homebrewing. We help people with homebrew workshopping. If you like writing homebrew, that's one of the things I do. What else should we talk about? That might be it. Is this a really short mid-roll? Am I forgetting something major? Oh, maybe I am. I'm not sure. Let me think for a second. Nope, that's it. I think we're good. Back to the show.
Harisa. Ganbald rushes up to you. You're not supposed to be here! Harisa, what are you doing?
Gambold. Harissa is going to, for a split second, just take a step back and bow. And I do apologize if I have intruded in any way. I must speak with you.
You are not supposed to be here. And you see over his shoulder his study, which is practically identical to the scene which I described for Mel earlier. And you see the two geckos that had brought the paltry elderberry offering standing kind of at attention. They are standing by, kind of that portrait, that landscape of the Western Wealds that you clocked in the darkness. And you hear screeching? Crying? Some kind of pathetic noise coming from the wall beyond, and boom! A bird's claw rips through the landscape of the Western Wealds, tearing a hole through it. And you see claws gnashing at the edges and something moving immediately behind. And Ganbald says, "You need to leave right now. This is not a good sitch, my guy."
Done. This has been fun, guys. I'm gonna head out.
Okay. Harissa is gonna be obviously in absolute shock because this whole scene, before even the claws decided to rip through the walls, etc., she was already kind of like, oh shit. Yes, can I help?
No! Leave!
She's just gonna back away and get into the elevator.
You start backing away. You see two huge serpentine shadows slither their way out of that hole, and both of them engulf these geckos and move on, turning them into desiccated husks with the remnants of their veins protruding out of their skin. Ganbald looks over, looks back to you, and says, "I will do what I can. You really shouldn't have come up here."
Harissa's just gonna nod and just like flee towards the lift.
Okay, you hear the doors boom slam behind you, and as they slam, you hear a cry for what sounds like help. You hear, "Help! Please!" It's Sherwood.
Oh shit! Oh my god.
The doors slam shut. You turn around. You face the lift. It is gone.
The lift is gone?
Yep, it is sealed from this side, and the actual lift is descending.
Oh my god.
Isaac and June at the bottom.
And I need everyone to roll me initiative.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh, 17 is not bad.
That's a nat 20, babe.
Oh shit, June!
A 22.
Nat 20, very nice.
That's a natural 7.
Yeah, I got a 4.
11.
Oh, that's incredible. We are going to actually start a little, because we just dealt with Ganbald, so we're going to start there in the initiative order. Harissa, you are immediately next to act. What do you do?
Well, shit. Oh god, she is so torn between what she saw and knowing if Gambold is having trouble with what's happening in there. She doesn't really know what she's going to be able to do.
As you have that thought, you hear, "Please, dearest, please, I'm sure it will be fine. I'm sure it will be fine."
Oh my god. Okay. She is is there anything to her left or right?
Good question. Yes, absolutely. The hallway goes down in either direction, left and right. To your right is going to be, Harissa doesn't necessarily know this, but to your right is going to be the smoke spirits quarters and the fireworks roost. So that's going to be 2 doors on your right. To the left is going to be the entrance to the balcony and the greenhouse. So 2 doors to your left.
I'm literally gonna roll a dice to see which way she goes because I don't want to like metagame this.
Okay.
We love that. We love that.
So I'm gonna roll a d20 over 10. She's gonna go right. Under 10, she's gonna go left.
I'm freaking out, guys.
Okay. Oh, she got a 10, of course. So was it like 10 and below?
10 and below. Left. All right, you run left. There are 2 doors at the end of the hall, one immediately in front of you and one to your right. Which do you choose?
Immediately in front of me. I'm gonna bust straight through it.
You, boom, kick open this door, and you are immediately in a fucking jungle. An overgrown mess of insane plants, many of which you've never seen in your life, and it is oppressively hot and humid. You are in the greenhouse. That is movement. Do we have action or bonus action from Harissa?
Would I be able to... Oh, apparently I've got primeval awareness.
Talk to me about that.
So as an action, I can expend a ranger spell slot. So 1 minute per level of spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of me.
You can absolutely do this. This is incredible.
So I'm just going to see what the fuck is going on in here.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you what your primeval awareness looks like, or do you have an intuition here?
I think, without really knowing what she's doing, because I don't think she's kind of like activating a thing, as soon as she kind of steps into the room and feels that difference in atmosphere and surroundings, and it's very foreign to her, it's almost like a very split second of just sort of like pushing a silence and sort of like slowing her heartbeat and just sort of listening and just sort of just being incredibly aware for a second.
And I think that as you do that, you pick up trace imperceptible sounds, vibrations, smells, glimpses. And what rush back to you are stories. And all of a sudden, your mind is overwhelmed with the voice of Granny Rosa telling you about all manner of creatures that live in the night. And she tells you about how the souls of the departed belong to a magical place beyond the conceptualization of the living. And that story comes through so loudly and so clearly. There are thousands, millions of fae within a mile of where you are currently.
Mm-hmm.
But one story creeps in the undertone of a warning that when the gods get angry, they might see fit to mess with the cycle of life and death itself. Whatever is happening in that study is undead.
Mm-hmm.
And you come back into your body and you get the vague sense that Sphinx is coming at you quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's movement and action. Is that it for Harisa?
Yeah.
All right, great. Fantastic. Mel, you are next in the initiative order. The elevator, boom, slams down in front of you. The smoke spirit, looking slightly disoriented, makes way for you to get into the elevator. And from behind, you clock Guard, June, Isaac, Sphinx. What do you do?
I see them coming behind me and rushing towards the elevator.
You do.
All right. Mel turns to them and holds out a hand and says, "My friends, please wait down here. There is a disturbance up above. I will take care of it. If you would kindly wait here, I will get back to you as soon as possible." And turns around into the elevator, looks up with the smoke spirit as if to say, "Let's go up."
Okay. I think that is. I'm gonna say this is an action, kind of to use a magic item here effectively. And the smoke spirit hits this button. The way that I'm gonna handle this is I am going to give everyone a turn to try to get on this elevator if that is what they are trying to do. It is not going to be something that you get to do for free because the doors are closing, and so you're gonna have to get creative about what you do here. But that is, I think. Probably, I mean, that's action from Mel. I don't think there's pretty much anywhere you can go, so I think that's probably Mel's turn, unless you have a bonus action you want to pop off.
Nothing that I think would work within an elevator. No, I think that's it.
Fantastic. So that is going to go to Isaac, actually. Isaac, you are bringing up the rear of the pack, carrying Mr. Sphinx.
Ah, fuck!
What do you do?
Are we near the elevator yet?
Yeah, I'd say everyone, you're the furthest away, and I'd say that you're probably, we'll say, 40 feet from the elevator. So it's going to take you a little bit more than just movement to get up to it.
Right. Okay. And we haven't seen where Harisa is yet, correct?
No, Harisa is nowhere to be seen.
How does Mr. Sphinx look right now?
How does Mr. Sphinx look right now?
Mr. Sphinx, I think is. Are you still kind of like gripping him? Is he in your pocket?
He doesn't have any pockets right now.
He has a
he's, like,
towel.
naked.
Is Isaac naked?
Isaac is in a towel.
Okay, I'm just going to ask you to keep me honest on your AC.
Oh, 100%.
Because that's incredible.
I love that so
I think the
much.
only thing that he'd have is the shield, because it always...
Yeah, you
comes back.
absolutely. You've got the shield.
Oh, with the grapes. Like,
Still grapes.
Yeah.
Grapes are still...
There's
he's
just like a bunch of
munching on
grapes
some-
in the... Yeah, right. That's fucking great.
if you've still got a hold of Sphinx, he's probably just like hanging there, just like dripping a little bit, still kind of like wet, just like, hold on. I don't like, he can't really do anything. He's just like,
Okay, so there's...
it's like when you grab a cat and they just kind of
Right,
like,
but there's no, like, significant change.
no. He's kind of like, he's looking very like,
Panicked.
But everybody's panicked right now because we don't know what's going on. Okay, then with the information that Isaac has, I think he'd just be like, what are y'all running for? What's going on? Damn it, Porky. And he's gonna try and get either. He said 40 feet. I only got 30 feet. He's gonna, I guess, for his dash to try to slide into the elevator, he's gonna try to keep it open by tossing the shield to like jam it.
Incredible.
Yes, my dude.
Captain America style.
Incredible. Could I please get
Yes.
an athletics check?
Ooh, natural 19 for a 24.
Ooh, yeah, no
baby.
question.
Yeah.
Smoke spirit going to pull the lever. The shield just boom clanks off of its hand and it withdraws and jams itself behind the lever. You buy everybody the turn in order to get in. So that is 30 feet of movement and I think action realistically. So unless you have a way to move further with bonus, I think that's probably it.
That would be it.
Okay. Your shield is going to return to you next turn, but for the moment it has jammed this elevator open. Mel, just be aware of the fact that you have been very blatantly disregarded. That means we go to Guard. Guard, you are actually the first to the elevator. You are maybe 10 feet away. And you see the shield wing past you and jam it open. What do you do?
This is hard because it's half confrontation. If this was full confrontation, I know exactly what I would do. But it's half confrontation. Yeah. All right. Guard is going to lumber over to the elevator, kind of duck down to get inside of it. And he is going to lean up against the side of it to reinforce where the shield is, just sort of like halfway in, halfway out. And he's going to look towards Mel and the smoke monster. Folks here call me a guardian. Let me help. And that's going to be what I do.
Okay. I do not think that the smoke spirit is going to get in your way if you try to get on the elevator. So,
Mel will look at Guard and say, I appreciate your kind offer there, sir, but please, this is a restricted area that we are going to. I have been instructed that no others but myself are to go up unless Gambald specifically asks for it. So please, remove yourself from the elevator and let me go to work, please.
As a guardian, I do not abide by the rules of this place.
Guard, could you roll me an insight check?
Natural 1. Guard did not know if that was true or not. That was Guard trying to
We
bluff.
are so insightful.
I mean, that's incredible, right? I'm going to tell you, the players, and all of our glorious listeners at home, that Guard is right. Right? Like, guardians do not exist within, sort of the necessary confines of the cycle of life and rebirth. But Guard has no idea that that's true.
No.
Guard just lied.
First time.
Oh, shit. That's a good point.
And I think that's going to be it for Guard's turn.
God's great.
Welcome to the team, Guard.
Yeah.
June, you are at the top of the order. What do? You are 10 feet from the door. Guard is now holding it open. What do you do?
So I just heard the whole interaction.
Yeah, you've heard everything.
I want to slide under the shield and Guard's arm. And when I pop up, I want to take my bow staff and pin Mel to the wall with my bow staff.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So
shit.
aggressive.
Oh, god damn.
All right, June has just slid into the elevator.
Everyone's becoming such a
and is kind of pop up and pin Mel to the wall. I do think this is going to be a grapple check, but I want you to take inspiration because that's the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Rabbit and a squirrel.
Yeah.
So if you would make this roll with advantage, please. Mel, you can use acrobatics or athletics to try to get out of this.
May I use one of my abilities instead of...
Pitch me on it.
Mel has an ability called Rabbit Hop, where as a bonus action, so I don't know if it counts though,
Go on.
because it's not my turn, but I can jump 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks.
Where are you trying to jump is going to be my first question. Because there's not 10 feet of ceiling here. I think you'd have to jump out of the elevator in order to get on the other side of June. That's my trade-off. That's my trade-off.
I like it. I do like it.
Okay, so then at that point, if we're going to do it, June, you don't even need to roll. You go to cross him with your bow staff, and you see rabbit legs kick in, and Mel throws himself on the other side. I'm assuming you probably don't want to go your entire 10 feet. You just kind of want to position yourself on the other side of everybody.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Great. So you're just at the door, and June, you kind of clank against the back of the elevator, and you are now in the space with Mel to your back. That's going to be movement, anyway, and action from June. Anything else?
No disrespect or anything, but we're going up. We're going up this way. So you can either come with us and help us find our friend and make sure that she hasn't done something stupid, which I'm sure she hasn't because Harisa's got a really level head on her shoulders.
So responsible.
But we're going to go up.
May I ask what makes you so sure your friend is up there?
June, could you please roll me an insight check?
I was about to ask.
Not won it with the rest of us.
Get it. 1.
15 plus 3, 18.
18.
Oh, that's all right.
June, you see something that resembles the sort of wisps of conversation that you plucked out of the crowd during the gecko's procession. A little bit of a trail? Red
Wait, what?
and fiery, leading up to the top floor. Harisa's up there.
Oh, Sherlock Holmes monk.
I was gonna say, I feel kind of bonded to Harisa.
Aha.
I've got a feeling. I've got a gut feeling, and she'll look to Isaac and Guard with like trying to communicate with her eyes to trust her.
I'm going to look at June, and then I'm going to look at Mel, and I'm going to say, whether or not Harisa is up there, it sounds like the master of this house needs help, and we should go up.
And as emissaries of the great and mighty Porky Carl, I believe we should help you in any ways with these elder gods and making sure that everything's a-okay. We're professionals. And he stands there with Sphinx in his hand and a towel.
All right. I think we're gonna move on to the next in initiative, which is a fun one for me. Harisa, you hear the shattering of glass.
Oh, fuck.
What's your passive perception?
15.
That was a 17 for like a hot minute, then it landed on a 10. You see an elephant python drop in from the roof, writhing and obsidian black, almost opalescent in the dim light of this room. And it slithers into some of the foliage. And it is quickly followed by another that lands. And they're going to charge you.
Oh, shit.
Does a 15 hit?
Does a 15 hit? Yes, it does.
Oh, squishy girl, squishy girl.
You're so squishy.
Yeah. Only just.
That's going to be 13 points of damage.
Holy shit.
Does a 14 hit?
I'm dead.
Oh, are you down?
No. Fucking nearly, mind you.
You have just gotten bitten by one of these things. It just sinks its teeth into your leg. And is just elephant pythons are a creature that you're at least distantly familiar with. They are massive, right? These things are probably 25 feet in length, right? Just snaking through the room. And the other one is going to rear back and lunge at you. Does a 14 hit?
No, that one didn't.
Great. It lunges at you, misses, clatters into some plants, knocking a bunch of shit over. And you see it get some like thorns stuck in it. It kind of wriggles around a little bit to dislodge those. And that is going to be its turn. We roll for Ganbald. Oh no. You hear screaming, cawing, clawing. You hear the sound of furniture breaking. You hear what might be fire. The doors slamming against their hinges, coming from the study.
I am very busy trying to get a snake off my leg.
And it's your turn.
But I acknowledge that has happened. Okay. So it's my turn, did you say? Okay. Firstly, Harisa is going to take the dagger out of her belt and she's going to try and just stab it into the head of the snake that's still kind of attached to her.
Okay.
She got, a 23.
Nice.
Holy shit. Does a 23 hit?
Yeah, 23 definitely hits.
And 6 damage.
Ooh, okay.
Is all she does with that tiny little thing.
Are you trying to drive this thing away specifically? Because it like a shot to the head is pretty substantial.
Anything, she's just panicking, so striking it in the head, in the eye, wherever she can kind of get it to
Okay, so there's not you're not making a coordinated initiative here. You are flailing.
No, just like...
Okay, I appreciate your honesty. Anything else from Harisa? That was action.
Has it let go?
Yeah, I think it recoils enough that you're not restrained.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. She is going to, now it's let go, after seeing the other python struggle in the kind of thorny foliage, I think she's going to try and like retreat into it, like into another part to kind of give her some kind of protection.
Fantastic. Could I get... We'll treat this as your movement, but could I get a survival check with you? And this is going to be a flat survival check because these things are no longer beasts.
Oh, I know what they are. Ooh.
22.
Craig, you just figured it out?
Oh, yeah.
22. Okay. On a 22, I am going to give you 3/4 cover for the next round, which means you have a +5 to your AC.
Oh, great.
As you sort of move through these like rubber trees and monsteras and thorny bullshit. Yeah.
It's just kind of limping sort of backwards like, shit, fucking, god damn it.
And that is going to be it for your turn. Mel, we are over to you. You are the only one not in the elevator at the moment. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Isaac hasn't gotten there yet. You're basically next to Isaac.
Okay. Mel is going to look at the smoke monster rattling away, mysterious to everyone, wondering why we're all on this island. And looking at the smoke creature, Mel is going to just ask.
Inspiration, please.
Yeah, you get inspiration. Okay. God damn it. What is Mel going to ask?
Well, Mel's a little stuck here because, as far as he knows, he has been told, don't let anyone up.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know who these people are. He's a little suspicious of them as well because Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to look at the smoke creature and say, "You've been here longer than I have. I do not know what to do here. You're all right with them coming up?"
The smoke spirit bows deeply to you.
I may lose my job over this, but we have to get up there. Everyone who's going up, come on in.
All right. Mel, you step on, and I think that what we're going to do, since you are kind of sacrificing a turn here, I think what we're going to do is you're going to use your action to get everybody up there, and I'm going to say just like to the room, right? Like you're just going to hurry everybody along to where they need to go. So we will deal with Isaac here momentarily, but you're going to hold that until Isaac. Actually, Isaac, you are up next. Are you just jumping on the elevator?
He's going to walk onto the elevator and pat Mel. Let's see. I promise we're here to help, friend. And cast Bless on Mel, Guard, and Juniper.
Bless on you. Bless on your family.
All right. The elevator kicks off, flies up to the top, and I'm going to say that, Mel, again, as sort of part of your action, if you're okay with this, everybody gets to where they're going. You see the doors of the study kind of thumping. You hear Ganball just, "Please, I will expel them. I don't know what you want from me." And you hear something happening in the greenhouse, some glass shatter and hit the ground. I'm going to go down the list here really quickly. Mel, where do you want to be?
I'm going to use the rest of my movement to move forward to Ganbald
Okay.
and ask what I can do.
You step forward, you ask what you can do. You hear, "Who's the... Mel! Did Harisa make it out okay? Is she downstairs?"
Harisa, is she here?
"Yes, that's... Oh no. Sweep the grounds! Sweep the floor! Make sure that she got out!"
You want me to clean at a time like this?
Yes, amazing.
Oh, you're so fired.
Mel, could I get you to roll me a luck check, please? Just a straight D20.
4.
You hear the crunching of wood and the thudding of a body and the clattering of a brass platter on the ground. And Ganbald doesn't say anything else for the moment.
All right, let's find Harisa.
I think we can cut to everybody getting to the greenhouse because, again, you heard the glass shatter. So that's probably where she is. Is everybody just moving in that direction?
Does Isaac notice the action-packed actionness of Gambald's face when we come up?
Like, yeah, right? Like, you hear everything. Is Isaac going into the study?
Fuck.
I'm kind of with you there, honestly, dude.
Because that's like his goal.
June's gonna go towards wherever the red wispy.
Oh, where Harris is?
Yeah, wherever Harisa is.
If you guys want to go into the study, you can go into the study.
Oh,
Split
man.
the party.
We gonna split the party? Is that what we're gonna do?
Split the party.
Oh no!
All right, here, catch. And he throws Mr. Spinks to Juniper.
Huh! Let's go, buddy.
Incredible. Oh, fuck. Incredible.
Something just. I'm gonna check on Big Bird Man and just
Don't die.
in his towel. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
This is highly disrespectful.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
All right. So I want to figure out what we're doing here. It sounds like Guard and Isaac are going into the study. June is going to the greenhouse. Mel, which direction are you headed?
Well, Mel is going to go to the sounds of the greenhouse, but at seeing Isaac and Guard coming into the study,
Yeah.
Mel will say, No, leave this. This is a personal matter. We have other things to attend to. Please, follow me. And we'll rush past them towards the greenhouse.
I am happy to let him roll like a persuasion check if you guys want to take that as an opportunity to affect your outcome, or if you are set on a path.
I know Isaac knows he doesn't have the same VIP card as Guard, so he'll go with Mel.
Okay. Guard, are you going to turn and go, or are you going to go into the study?
I don't know what it is, but the way that you described what was happening in the study,
Yeah.
I feel like there is something compelling Guard into that space.
All right, we're moving forward. Isaac, you have used some of your movement. You're gonna use the rest of your movement to get down to the end of the thing. So that is your turn as well. Guard, do you step into the study as everyone else starts to run away?
Yes.
Okay. Guard.
I like it started with Harisa being the one that's kind of doing the dumb thing, switching it over to Guard. We're sort of hot potatoing it here.
All right, and now it's just like who needs the extra character now? Oh god.
Guard, you open a door onto inky darkness. And you take one sort of tenuous step forward and find that there is, in fact, ground here. And you take another step. And another step. And then things start to come into focus as if illuminated of their own accord. You see the bodies of the geckos. You see Ganbald lying on the floor. You see a rend in nothingness being clawed at by eerily long and eldritch birds' legs. And you see wisps of snakes skitter from point of shadow to another. And then you see Ganbald kind of lull and raise his head. Guard! And he snaps his fingers. And you find yourself in a meadow.
I'm so confused.
And Ganbald is lying against a tree that has sort of grown up and around his back. The dead geckos lying in shin-height meadowgrass, clover, flowers. And all of the snakes start to skitter away.
Guard slowly walks towards Gambald, puts his hand out to the side to like brush the tall grass as he walks by, and is gonna sit down next to Gambald, pick up one of the gecko bodies, look at Gambald. What happened here?
Do you mean the fight or the meadow thing?
The meadow? The death?
Oh, yes, that. Well, the meadow was so that you wouldn't get obliterated in an instant. I didn't have much time to really think about it. I kind of just had to get us out of there. That was not an appropriate place for you to be. The wards were up, and I don't really understand what would happen if a guardian was to simply blink out of existence. So I felt it safest to sort of beam us into a bit of a pocket dimension, as it were. The death was unfortunate. Demoiselle has not been well for some time. She was angry at the infringement. She was already a little upset about the paltry offering of elderberries, and the B&E didn't really help. We've only got about 6 seconds in this place before shit goes bad, so I needed to, you should prepare yourself for whatever happens when we get back.
Guard is going to stand up, crack his big ceramic knuckles. You are not alone in this fight any longer.
I was hoping it wouldn't be a fight. I see now that is not really a possibility anymore. Help me up.
Reach down, pull him up out of that tree.
And just like, again, he towers over you, right? Like, this man is massive, and he sort of looks down, kind of leaning on your shoulder, and he says, "There's a dresser that I've shoved up against the hole to the roost. Hold it there for me while I do my thing, if you don't mind. I know that might not be the answer that you were hoping for, but I won't tolerate any violence against my wife."
Your wife?
Are you ready? And he gives you a nod.
I think so.
All right. And I think that's going to be Guard's turn. June.
Oi.
You skid into the greenhouse. Elephant python, no Harisa. But that trail, waning away, leads into the brush of this bizarre jungle of a room. A lot of these plants are actually familiar to you.
Am I still holding Sphinx?
I think so.
Okay.
Sphinx, just so you know, is kind of like, if you are still holding him, he's kind of like struggling against you as well, because he's trying desperately to get to Harisa.
All right, just hold on. We're going to her. We're here. Just sit here, and she'll drop him on her head. Hold on, and I want to use my movement and action to get up into the foliage.
Ooh, yeah. I think you just do that. I think you just get up to the top of this thing, and we'll say it's a good kind of 30 feet, kind of in height. You get up like a palm tree of some description, and you can kind of look down. It's dim light in here, so it's not super easy to see. But again, you've just kind of got this bond trail that you're watching for Harisa, and I think at this point it does dissipate because you are close enough to her that you can catch glimpses of what you think is Harisa moving through the undergrowth.
So I can see Harisa.
Yeah, you got glimpses. So that was movement and either action or bonus if you burn some bond.
All right, Mr. Sphinx, I see Harisa. Do you see Harisa down there?
I think I can sense her. I see her in a weird way. I need to get. I have to. Like he's just kind of like freaking out.
All right, I can drop you on her. Do you want me to I'll drop you on her, on top of her. Like, yes, I'll throw you at her. Okay,
yes,
all right.
Yes.
And
okay.
I want to throw Sphinx.
Okay.
At Harisa.
All right.
Yeah.
Nothing can go wrong with this plan. Let's go.
Can I get a dex save from Sphinx? I think is how we're going to do this.
Yes. Oh, a dirty 20 for the lovely Sphinx.
Sphinx lands on Harisa's head. Just full, like, Disney movie cat like freaking out, arms wrapped around your head.
Harisa!
Exactly.
Jesus! I think Harisa's gonna be, Spinks! Oh my god! Like, what the hell? And she's just, like, trying to grab him off her head.
Okay. June, I think that is your turn. We get to the pythons. The first one, man, June is high in the initiative order. The first one that has been stabbed in the head is going to climb up after June and is going to succeed. However, that is going to have to be movement and action. So that is its turn. The next one it has been tracking Harisa. And Harisa, remember, you have a +5 to your AC. Does a 23 hit?
Yes, it still does.
I rolled really well.
I appreciate that extra AC.
Sorry. Sometimes the dice do their thing. That's going to be 10 damage.
Oh, man. She was so distracted by Spinks landing on her head.
And you are grappled.
Grappled.
Grapple.
How not well is Harisa doing?
She's fine.
I have 2 hit points left.
Cool.
She's fine. She's fine.
We move to Ganbald, who braces himself as the meadow melts away. And Guard, you find yourself back in the room. And he takes a pose and begins to channel some kind of magic that seems to push back the claws. And they recede slightly.
That's good.
Harisa, it's your turn. You are restrained, so if you want to go anywhere, you have to make an athletics or acrobatics check to get out.
How are restrained? Are my arms restrained?
You could still take actions.
What I will do is again attempt a stabbing of this snake, just to try and get it off me, with a disadvantage. Does a 7 hit?
Does a 7 hit? It does not.
Oh, bud.
All right, that's your attack.
For a bonus action, I'm going to get Spinks to try and get this thing off me. I don't think he needs much telling. I think he can see it and is going to launch himself upon this snake to try and get it off.
All right.
Oh, great. What about a 22?
A 22 hits.
Spinks is going to see the snake and just, yeah, and launch and just trying to bite into this thing.
Give me the damage.
Come on, Spinks, help me out. Oh, a 5. Dang.
Okay. Spinks claws its way into this thing, but has not managed to get it to release you. That was not enough damage. So you are still restrained, and Spinks is on this thing. Mel, you burst into the greenhouse. You see a ball python up a tree chasing after June. Harisa's probably in here somewhere. You hear Spinks clawing at something. What do you do?
This is far too much chaos for Mel to deal with, so he is going to cast Sleep. And he says out loud, "Your eyes are feeling mighty heavy. Upon your slumber I do levy."
Oh, Manischewitz, what a show that was. Thank you all so much for being a part of this experience. Thank you for listening. What a great time. Check out the Patreon if you want to give us support. And to all of our patrons that are already out there, thank you so, so much. And a very, very special thank you to Darlene K. and the Elder Barry. You are the wind beneath our wings. Have a great day, night, eve, or anything in between. Stay safe out there. And don't forget to feed your pets.